Welcome back, everyone. We are continuing the ARR patches. We're getting close to the end, so I'm really excited. And let's just get started. The Science of Seven Dawn wish to hunt in the joint for Iceheart. Your assistance is more than welcome, my friends. Considering the report I just received, I dare say your time could be no better. We're all ears, Lord Drummond. A band of pilgrims was seen transporting a large number of crates to the west. Their garb appears to match the description provided by the squire who survived the attack. And as the scouts lost track of them at Snowcloak, the self-same frozen wall which he speculated might conceal the heretics' hideaway. Suffice it to say, the disappearance of the pilgrims and provisions all but confirms our suspicions. I've heard enough. My knights will join the hunt. I took the liberty of summoning a unit of Crystal Blaze towards Brimfront. Given the gravity of the situation, I trust you will agree that we must use every resource available to us. These are extraordinary circumstances, Commander. It would be in our best interest to coordinate our efforts. Such was my intent from the start, Sir Emmerich. And so it begins, my friend, though I dare say it will prove an all too brief collaboration. I thought will not elude the combined forces of Crystal Braves and the Temple Knights for long. Nevertheless, a wise man does not wager all upon success of a single solution. There might be other means by which we can locate the heretic's lair. Mayhap Lord Redmond has one in mind? Yes, excellent. My lady, everything has been accounted for. If there is aught else you would have us do, pray speak and it shall be done. It seems as though we are always one step behind, or quite ever just beyond our reach. Though I would like to believe that the tables are about to turn, I must confess to having doubts. A joint effort may succeed where others have failed, but it could yet yield the same result. Fortunately, we are not without other options. I trust you haven't forgotten Inquisitor Gully? We have not. The mystery of how the heretics remained undiscovered for so long has been much in our thoughts, as has the question of what steps might be taken to prevent a similar breach of security in the future. Accordingly, we conducted an exhaustive and covert evaluation of everyone in Wyvern Front. Though some are found to have committed certain minor transgressions, we have identified only one possible heretic. If this man has pledged himself to Isis' cause, he will have taken note of the movements of the Temple Knights and Crystal Braves, and upon recognizing their intent, he may attempt to warn the heretics. The man's watch is to end soon, at which point he must report to Sir Jean Tremont in the yard. I would have you keep an eye on him. If he ventures beyond the walls, follow him discreetly. Should he meet with a heretic, do not interfere, simply watch and listen. I have seen to it that the suspect knows nothing which could endanger our plans. Lord Redmond! I am impressed! Very well done. Sending his forces to Wyvern Front prior to his own arrival. Your commander is certainly decisive. Oh, don't I know it, Sir Emmerich, don't I know it. See how the skies darken. Even the water is against us. Oh, aren't you pessimistic? The Third and the Temple Knights have begun the search. All that remains is the woods. Alright. Then I'm gonna call out my mount and start with my task. Here we go. Accused knights, huh? Oh yeah, he's leaving. Which means we are after him. Whee! And we went through the wrong. Ah, oh well. Here we go. It's great I can fly. And now he heads south to the passage. Hey! Hey, where in the Seminoles are you? I'm freezing my bullocks off here. Well, you kinda deserve it. I'm here, you blundering oaf. Why are you late? Standing on the wall, why else? I have duties to fulfill, you know. Your sole duty is to the bloody echo. Lower your voice or the heroes invite in front. Yes, yes, of course. The temple knights are in Snowcloak. This is what you bring to me? We already knew about. Our comrades in Boulder Down will use the tunnels there before they know what's happening. Nevertheless, if you waste my time again, is that clear? So, they're using tunnels in Boulders Down. Also, Kirsty says hi. She's being needy. Yeah, yeah, the Baytaker. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Code is wrong. Well, I'm hoping she'll just lie down and just calm down. Well, did your investigation bear fruit? I see. I shall have the man detained at once. His guilt is plain. Would that you could have heard our words more clearly. Yet the few snatches you were able to make out are nonetheless enlightening. It would seem that the heretics are aware of our operation and confident they can thwart it. Their comrades in Boulder Down are key to their plans, which means it is key to our plans. They be rooted out and put to the sword. Oh, great. We have long suspected that the heretics use Novako's secret tunnels to traverse the highlands undetected. Given what you overheard, I fear that Snowcloak may be riddled with special ways, and the heretics in Boulders Down plan to use them to take our forces unawares. Needless to say, we cannot allow that to happen. Continues to house during their nights are on patrol in the area, and shall order them to begin searching for the heretics once. But knowing nothing of our enemy's numbers or readiness, I cannot say for sure they will be sufficient. It would be my mind at ease if you would consent to assist my knights with the search. I know they would take courage from the presence of such a story, the warrior. Pray rendezvous with them at Boulders Down. If Hydaelyn is kind, we may catch these heretics before their plans come to fruition. Show them no mercy. The lives of our allies are at stake. Oh, it's Kirsty. Hmm? We'll be taking the tunnel to Boulders Down because I'm unsure if we can fly over the mountains. Let me quickly shoot a message to my FC leader. OBS is being annoying again, so let me get the contingency things. Here we are. Oh no. Haven't had enough yet. My knights send no word of your coming, Melody. What has happened? What is that in your hand? Well, your knights are dead. Sorry to say. Those are veterans with years of experience. And now they lie dead in the snow. Their bodies must be recovered and... No. No, we have not the man to spare, not now. Not while Iceheart prepares to summon an abomination. The heretics you dispatch are not a sufficient number to contend with the combined strength of the Temple Knights and the Crystal Braves. There must be others. I'll wager they're on the way to Snowcloak as we speak. To make matters worse, it seems that the trader you followed managed to pass the heretics something of value after all. The parchment you recovered is a timetable the guardsman watches at our outpost in Snowcloak. The trader was stationed there long before he aroused our suspicions. Would that we had caught him sooner. With this information, the heretics would know when the watch was weakest. They could use their tunnels with impunity and prepare their ambush. The timetable has not changed, you see. Of course it will be changed now, but the heretics may already be in position. Hauser and there must send reinforcements, even if it means withdrawing knights from the Stone Vigil. And can see no other way to safeguard the lives of our allies. Time is of the essence, Melody. While my knights make ready to Kiersey, not in front of the TV, thank you. No, not in front of the TV. While my knights make ready to depart, the heretics may take our allies in Snowcloak unaware. Superior training equipment will avail not if they are cut down ere such a drawn, but all is not yet lost. If we leave now, there may still be time to warn them. In case, I beseech you, fly to Snowcloak and tell Sir Emmerich everything we've discovered. Alright. I'll take that literally. Chocobos are so funny. They have such little wings, but can still fly. Without magics. I mean, my horse can also fly, but that's because magics. Sir Emmerich, he's over there. Have words with the man you must. We shall speak anon. If I must... Oh, you're so annoying. What a disadvantage here. We should linger no longer than necessary. This is a welcome surprise. Perhaps the only one thus far. As you can see, we have yet to uncover any hidden... You have my gratitude. Truth be told, we suspected the heretics might be planning such an attack. Now that we have confirmation, I shall place my knights on high alert. Has Commander Livier been informed? The Braves must be made aware. I tried, but he was being annoying. It must be here. I am certain of it. Why else would I go through such lengths to defend Snowcloak? 'Tis but a pity this discovery comes when our enemy has us at such a disadvantage. Forewarned though we be, the heretics know the terrain far better than we. I dare think not how many are watching us at this very moment. Found it, this is all wrong. I started had us scrambling to save our own skins when we should rightly be straining to every sinew to find her and stop this damnable summoning. There she is! Did I just call help me know a girl? That was close. They didn't hurt you, did you? Did they? Only my pride, Ida. There will be others nearby. We must see if they are given a similarly warm welcome. Come on, Olivia. There has been a development, sir. Together with the Temple Knights, we have secured the entrances to some half-dozen tunnels after spotting the enemy breaking surface. But that is not all, sir. We think one of them may be important. Certainly the heretics near flung themselves upon our swords to defend it. Aha, just as I suspected. Amongst this wire of tunnels lies the entrance to Iceheart's lair. Some and the others were going in. A moment, Elfinio. The tunnel question is barely wide enough for 2 men abreast. We cannot say with any certainty where it leads, much less what is waiting there for us. Furthermore, we have no way of knowing how many heretics are still lurking there on the surface. What if they were to converge on this point after we entered the tunnel? For all we know, we could be funneling our forces into a trap. I take your point. If the tunnel is indeed as narrow as you say, greater numbers will be more of a hindrance than a help. Should we encounter difficulty, our own allies will become an obstacle to escape. A change of plans. While we rendezvous with Sir Emmerich and keep the heretics at bay here, you will go wherever the tunnel leads. Of course I am, and not just a small team of the Crystal Braves, who were supposed to, I don't know, help me out and make sure I wasn't going to be doing everything alone again. If you find Iceheart at the end of it, do not let her escape. You venture into the unknown, so see here prepared for anything. I suggest you call upon your allies, though not too many or Papalymo will sulk. I am going to sulk. I am informed that Commander Livia has asked you to lead a party down one of the tunnels. A characteristically daring proposition, yet I can think of no one better qualified for the task. I bid you good fortune. We are at a disadvantage here. We should linger no longer than necessary. Yeah, Lucia. The end of the tunnel, madam? It's just over here. Have we not seen the heretics breaking the service? We would never have noticed it. Per Sir Emmerich's order, we will stand guard outside. Please be aware that even should you encounter significant resistance, we cannot leave our post. And with that, we have unlocked Snowcloak. Let me go and check if this is actually a duty I want to do with the duty finder or with the duty sport. Do you think this is a duty support one? Yeah. I'll go and do it on my own. I always forget to do this. It's... No, I don't need this treasure. A word of warning for people who are doing this synced. If you stand in here, you'll get continuous snow damage, and that means that tanking stuff is much harder. So please be aware and position yourself correctly. A friend of mine is completely unarmored with Spriggan, so I sometimes feel a bit guilty just casually having to destroy them. But there's not much else we can do about it. This is where the Heretics cutscene just took place, so we know we are in the right spot. Let's open the door to oblivion. It's a puppy! It's a puppy! This is Fenrir! And that was Fenrir! I don't like the look of that thing. That looks like an aviarite.
The tales do not do you justice, warrior of light. Yes, I know who you are, and you know who I am. I was given the name Izel, but I earned the name Iceheart. This endless cycle of hatred, of bloodshed, of sorrow. You would see it continue, O noble warrior of light. I would not. I will not. I will bring an end to this war between dragon and man, no matter the cost.
Interesting.
In time, you will come to understand that what we do for the greater good.
Oh, I hate that phrase. For the greater good. Fuck off.
For Eorzea,
Self-righteousness.
for Hydaelyn.
Well, she isn't actually aggressive towards us. She isn't hostile. Guess we can count that as a win at the moment. Let's see if they have anything to say now. Tis the best thing you're still with us. Commander Davio took to pacing your absence. Oh, so he was worried. Though I did not doubt that you would return, I'm nonetheless relieved to see my judgment validated. That's good to hear. That took longer than I expected. What news, Melody? You put a time expectancy on how long I would take to go through that, and I went in by myself, so it looked less than 5 minutes. Alfie, no. If there was a door, I would kick you out of it. So I started with a pseudonym. Not that matters. That you managed to escape is regrettable, but from your description of that beast, you did well to come as close as you did. In any case, now that you have cleared the path, the Temple Knights can begin to survey the tunnels in earnest. Mayhap they will even find a route past the ice wall. Wouldn't that do wonders for the fight against the heretics? Crystal Blaze would certainly share the credit for it too. To all be praised, we may yet turn this situation to our advantage. As soon as we stop Aisha before she summons Shiva, of course. Needless to say, our fellow Scions have not been idle. Minfilia and Uriansha have been busy pursuing the archives of House for Toms, gathering what information they can on Shiva. Which reminds me, if you're intending to respect the camp Dragonhead to report on the day's events, don't. The incident should be here any minute. I can only assume some people enjoy subjecting themselves to its cold. You could just wear a coat, Elfino. See, Minfilia has some common sense and she wore a coat. Incident, he comes straight to us from the archives of House for Toms. I trust your time in there proved fruitful. What that it had. Uriansha and I scoured countless texts, but what we found was of questionable veracity. Accounts of Shiva's life and deeds are sparse and contradictory, only agreeing upon one point. She lay down with a dragon, the gravest of all sins according to Ishgardian faith. Yet in the eyes of Isa's followers, this was a holy act, the blessed union of man and dragon. How such a thing could ever be possible is quite another question. Suffice it to say, I very much doubt we will find a useful answer in the archives of House Toms. Much knowledge has been lost over centuries, though in this case one wonders if it is by circumstance or design. You said Isar took a moment to plead her case prior to escaping, did you not? Hmm. Viewed without prejudice, most would agree bring an end to an endless war serves the great good. I think Sir Emmerich might take issue with her methods. Yeah, and so do I, actually. I do not care if a few stragglers manage to escape, until the sappers confirm that the tunnel is safe, the men are not to search it. Yes, Lord Commander. Huh. That is very wise and very precautious. You pursue your foes with less zeal than I expected, Sir Emmerich. Unless you misunderstand, I do not deny that your enemy has given us good reason to be prudent. I merely meant, you being a man of faith, that I had expected a certain single-mindedness. After all, was it not by the will of Hydaelyn that your ancestors came to this land, why they took up arms against the Dravanians? What would they have done in your position, I wonder? There are those who believe that faith is a renunciation of free will, that unquestioning devotion is required of all who live a life of service to the Fury. Such righteous fervor may well serve a knight on the front line, less so a leader of men. We are all at liberty to interpret the scriptures as we will. I choose to believe that the Fury would value the lives of her followers over the deaths of her enemies. But I would not presume to speak for the Knights of Eld. 'Twas a different time, nay, a different era, and the scriptures tell us only so much. Would that they told us more. That man is awfully pragmatic as for a servant of the Holy See. A welcome trait as a negotiation table, to be sure. That someone one's enemies are making ready to harness the power of a god. You are aware that if we want to fight a god, we need to make sure that there are actually people to fight a god, right? And not just me. Maybe he does not truly believe that Eishart's plan can succeed. Truth be told, I too remain somewhat skeptical. Shiva was real, a living, breathing woman. Of that there could be no doubt. In this respect, she differs from every other figure to have been summoned, each of whom was worshipped as a god. The sole exception being good King Mughal 12. The myth made manifest in response to the fervent supplications of the Mughals guard. Saint Shiva may differ, but what of the heretics? They are a tribe of outcasts at war with a mighty nation who yearn for the resurrection of the one who embodies their beliefs. If that is not placing one's faith in a higher power, then what is? Crystals and conviction, Nvidia. They have them both in abundance. Can that be truly all that is required? My survey team has concluded that preliminary analysis of the Aetheryte Ice Heart used to escape. They believed that she teleported to another Aetheryte somewhere not far to the west. Despite the apparent proximity of this second Aetheryte, however, they have been wholly unable to detect its presence directly. Unless Iceheart has some means to mask its signal, I can only presume she had destroyed to prevent us from following her. Without the means to teleport as she did, we have no choice but to search for an alternate route, most likely until assuming one exists. And that does not give up on the teleportation just yet. One of our colleagues in Charlian may be able to assist us. I pray that you are right. I dare not think how long it will take us to survey the entire tunnel system. While Minfilia looks into our Aetheryte problem, I would like to request your assistance with another matter. The third unit is currently tracking the remnants of the heretic force which attacked us. However, the search goes poorly despite our numbers. Corvus is fast and Iceheart followers know the terrain far better than we. Your knowledge of the region may serve to hasten the process. The sooner we capture Iceheart followers, the sooner we can press them for their leaders' whereabouts. Also, though it is admittedly a selfish request, I feel that my brace will benefit immensely from working alongside you. While we have our share of veterans, we also have more than a few less experienced recruits, many of whom who look up to you in case you were not aware. Oh, great. Hero worship. Not what I was hoping for. Good. I knew you would understand. Hasa can apprise you of the details. When the task is complete, come and find me at the observatorium. Captain Ilbert and I are meeting there to discuss the latest developments in his investigation. The Temple Knights shall hold Snowcloak in our absence. Let us leave them to their work, or is more pressing. Alright. There, Maddie. Come in, Davia, and instructed me to wait for you. Your assistance is most welcome, believe me. Most of the fur hail from Ilda, and for a man accustomed to the feel of sand beneath his boots, the crunch of snow can be rather disconcerting. To the matter at hand, near a moment ago I received word that the heretics we seek have been spotted making for Denifin Pass. My braves are already in pursuit, and I should be grateful if you would join them. I myself shall be taking part in the hunt, and never let it be said I do not earn my coin. So he's more than just marketing. Hey. Talsball's mind goes on fire, caught my boot on a rock or something and twisted as I fell. You'll join on ahead through Devon Pass, hurry, you might catch up. If you're unsure where to go, look for tracks, the snow is fresh, so it shouldn't be hard to find. They go away from the past. Zion, what are you doing here? The heretics? I'm not sure. Those are great skilled beasts, and yes, I think he went east on his own. The heretics split up, so we did too. Never let yourself get split up. That's a bad idea. Achoo! Um, bless me, I guess. How embarrassing. I was so intent on following the heretics tracks that I almost felt the nose had doubled back. Almost, mind you. One tried to sneak up on behind me and got a knife in the gut for troubles. Very well, a stabby potato. I found myself alone, so I started searching the man's knapsack for anything of interest. And lo and behold, before his friends found me, I came upon this. Withdraw in groups of 3 or less to the observatorium, give the signal away, the merchant will be watching, be late and be left for dead. It speaks for itself, does it not? That it can't possibly mean to rendezvous inside the place, so we should restrict our search to the surrounding areas. Let me rephrase that. You should restrict your search for the wilderness around the observatory. I will need more than a moment's rest to recover from these wounds. Fair enough. I am through with listening to your excuses. We leave now. How? The woods are crawling with the blue coats and the knights are searching everywhere and pass us through the gates. Well, stay with her then if you think you'll fare any better. No, no, there's no need for that. There are places like this in my homeland, sacred snow-capped peaks, where blood must not be shed. Yet your lands ever flows with the blood of the fallen, and by your deeds it has drunk deep. No, I've done no wrong. None but meet in secret of heretics. Denied all you will, we shall have the truth from you yet. Inquisitors are not the only ones skilled in the art of interrogation. Oh boy. Damn it all. Fancy meeting your melody. I presume your work with Ferd brought you hither? What a tangled web, lest you wonder we came not for the heretics, but for the merchant who has been conspiring with them. He came to our attention near the course of our investigation to the Ivy. It bears belief, I know, but it would seem our favorite guardian spy may have been providing assistance to Iceheart. Were it not for the efforts of Lady Ugiri and her shinobi, we might never have discovered this connection. Master Elfino is so kind. I fear my people and I have done little to aid your search for the spy. We long to strike back against the Empire and weaken their influence in this land, to prevent the tragedy which befell Doma from reoccurring. The days ahead and the work they promise will require a very particular set of skills. Skills which I am fortunate enough to possess. If you will allow it, I would accompany you until the investigation is complete. That is a most generous offer, Lady Geary, and one which I gladly accept. Thank you. Though I may disappear for a time, know that I shall never be far and shall always be watching. A comforting thought. Come, Maddie, let's wait inside for Captain Ilbert to return and deliver his report. Captain Ilbert seemed confident that the merchant's resolve would swiftly crumble when pressed. If so, we should have new information ere long. As to whether it will bring us any closer to knowing the Ivy's identity, I would rather not say. Given our adversary's cunning, I shall consider it fortunate if we are spared another wild dodo chase. The gods know we have more than enough to occupy our time as is. Captain Ilbert, your report, if you will. Aye, Commander. First, with regard to the heretic we captured, I regret to say the man could tell us not that we did not already know Shiva. We have since handed him over to the Jagardian authorities. Henceforth, the Holy See will pursue the matter independently. Our inquiries concerning the Ivy, however, have proven more fruitful. We have ascertained the channel by which the heretics acquired their information on the shipment routes. Go on. You will recall the flame we first identified as being in the MV's employ. From him, we were able to trace a trail of conspirators, each taking us close to his master. Alas, the trail came to an abrupt end. Fearing that the investigation had been compromised, we took the necessary step of detaining all suspected of conspiracy. There were 5 on our list, including a flame stationed at Revenant's Soul. The man's primary duty was to keep an inventory of donations from abroad, the particulars of which he would share with benefactors, thereby ensuring that needs did not go unfulfilled. By virtue of his role, he was privy to the details of all shipments bound for a settlement. Needless to say, that included those originating from House Forton. He knew the precise route the caravan would take, and he sold that information to a merchant. I think I can guess which one. None other. With a little encouragement, he soon confessed to knowingly aiding and abetting the heretics. Well, that's one mystery solved at least. But what of the Ivy? Are we any closer to prizing off his mask? I dare say we are, Commander. A relentless pursuit has forced him to commit a grave error. In a desperate bid to cover his tracks, the Ivy resorted to exercising certain administrative powers available to only high-ranking members of the Immortal Flames. If you consider that another investigation is known to barely a handful of them, this field of suspects is greatly narrowed. You mean to say that the agent among Arawan's is among Arawan's innermost circle? Someone who has been with him since the Immortal Flame's establishment? This is the most plausible explanation. The infiltration likely occurred during the company's founding, with the groundwork for the act being laid beforehand. To slip into a position of authority unremarked and remain above suspicion for all these years. I too was surprised, though I really should not have been. Of the three great companies, Ulda's was ever more vulnerable to infiltration. Both Limsa, Nominza, and Gridani have long-standing armed forces that lend themselves well to the formation of the Maelstrom and the Order of the Twin Adder. To all intents and purposes, it was the same people, loyal ones, mind, under the same leadership. Only the banner was different. Not so the Flames. Ulda's military was made of disparate orders, most of which were glorified mercenary companies that answered only to their own paymasters. Hardly an ideal environment to which establish something as higher-minded as a current company. The difficulties Rowan faced when founding the Immortal Flames are well known. Even after he had convinced his fellow syndicate members to share the cost, there remained a small matter of finding enough bodies to fill the ranks. Indeed, and given the pressing nature of the Imperial threat, that meant recruiting every passing sellsword. Amidst the chaos of its founding, it would have been child's play to infiltrate the company. A good deal easier then than now. Aye. The Immortal Flames have ever been caught between conflicting interests, the public and the private. Though the monetarists ultimately agreed to support the organization's founding, it was not out of charity that did so, but simple self-preservation. Had Neil van Darn's ambitions have been as apocalyptic, you may be sure they would never risk supplying Raban with an army. It is but a wonder they did not attempt to extinguish the flames the moment the danger had passed. Returning to the present. Even as the speaker, Dome and Alice are shedding several high-ranked flames. Any one of whom could be the Ivy. Desiring to deal a blow against the Empire, the refugees were eager to lend us their aid. I expect to hear from them ere long. Very good. Pray continue your investigation with the first. Meanwhile, the second attend to the unrest, the third can join the fourth in inspecting crystal shipments. If they notice anything unusual, I want to know about it. If Shiva is summoned in the like manner to the other primals, the heretics will be looking for further supplies. Understood, Commander. I shall send word to Sir Emmerich informing of our success in identifying the heretics and abettors. Hopefully the information will be of some use to your guardians. It is time, Commander. Yes, I am aware. An emergency council of the Alliance leadership has been called. There have been developments at Garden Mall, it would seem. As commander of the Crystal Brazen, my presence has been requested. I would have you accompany me, Melody. As the realm's title champion, it's only meet that you be present for discussion. Oh, and the Ascendant has already given her consent, lest you worry. How about my consent? Alfino, I would like a voice in this as well. Alas, it's not to be. Like me, your dad is eager to conclude the business of Iceheart, but until another path to her sanctum is found, she will remain beyond our reach. Minfilia and the Archons are sparing no effort to secure an alternate route. Until such time as they succeed, I suggest we give some thought to the realm's other problems. I shall call on ahead to Credania in readiness for the coming council. Meet Ben of the altar, and we shall make our way to the Lotus Tent together. Alright, to Gridania we go. But before that, time for the ad break. Oh boy, what happened here? Alvino? Unlike Robin, politics is not my cup of tea. While younger commander and in the council, I will attend to his business on my own. Smart. Oh, it is ad time, so I'll try and get the capture card to behave again, and then we'll continue after the ad break. Da, da. Welcome back, everyone. Let's continue and listen to Elf now. My thanks are coming, Melody. When you're ready, speak with Conjurer yonder. She will show us the Lotus Tent. And I needed to talk to you for that. Why? The Alliance leaders await you at the Lotus Tent. Will you be joining them now?
Change has come to the Garlean Empire, and we must discuss the implications.
Yeah, I think the old Emperor went and croaked.
The rumors are true, then? The War of Succession is ended?
It is. A new emperor reigns in Garlemald.
Who?
The birth and all too rapid expansion of the Garlean Empire is commonly attributed to the strategic brilliance of Solus Zosgalvis, yet he did not rule alone. Several members of the royal household also distinguished themselves during his reign. Nevertheless, it was the eldest son who stood to inherit the throne, until his most untimely passing.
I thought us fortunate when I learned that the Emperor had died without naming a successor.
Well, it seems that the new Emperor does not like the old Emperor. That was disrespectful. Holy moly.
'Twas the grandson and his uncle who had the strongest claims, was it not?
Indeed, yet claims count for little without the power to assert them. High Legatus Varus Galvus is a respected military leader. Not so his uncle.
So young Varus has torn the crown from his uncle's grasp and taken his place at the head of the Empire.
He looks like a vampire.
Given the troubled nature of his succession, the new emperor will require time to seal his grip on power. Yet have no doubt but that he shall, for there are none left with strength enough to oppose him.
Since the success of Operation Archon, the remnants of the 14th Legion and the forces occupying Alamigo have done naught but fortify their positions. But you can be sure they'll be ready to march on us again, if their Emperor gives the word.
When, not if. They say this Varus was so set upon Eorzean annexation that he spoke out against the Meteor Project.
Oh boy. Another maniac.
Plainly, the new emperor's intentions are of great concern to us all. I
I propose that we set aside the Cartano dispute for the present, and discuss what measures the Alliance might take to prepare for a resumption of hostilities with Garlemald. Moreover, I move that we re-examine the question of how our former allies in Ishgard might be persuaded to retake their place at our side. Could Eorzea but stand as one, 'twould deal a grave blow to our enemies' ambitions.
Well, I suppose we should be grateful that they have finally acknowledged the inevitability of Imperial attack. Who knows? They may even do something about it.
Aw, aren't you a little bit pessimistic, Alvino? Where's your normal optimism? Or are you finally getting
If only the
the
leaders of
reality thrown in
Ishgard
your
would
head?
follow their example and stop hiding behind their gates, praying for the coming storm to pass them by. But that is a discussion for another time. At present, I am more concerned by the fact that the Alliance's mooted preparations will be made known to the Garleans many moons before their coming. So long as the ivy eludes our grasp, no secret is safe.
It will not have escaped your notice that the nations of Eorzea are no nearer to being one of purpose, despite their protestations to the contrary. Plainly, the threat of a resurgent Garlemald is not enough to steer them. And the reason for this? Deep-rooted mistrust amongst the Sinistry. The nations of the East can come to all the understandings they like, but their unity means little unless to the common folk. Take the Luminsians, for instance. Though Emerald Whip outlawed piracy over a decade ago, foreigners still picture the nation as a haven for grog-swilled wooden-legged cutthroats. In likewise, the Gordanians are mocked as hermits who talk to trees, and the Eldonians scorned as swindlers who worship coin. Not that such sentiments are entirely without grounds, of course. Take the pillar of Eldon society, Telegy Adelegy, for example, but that is besides the point. The fact is that people are wary of outsiders whether they have cause to be or not. On that basis, one could argue that the conflict court knows necessary evil. Each nation has its own warmongering faction that advocates the acquisition of Omega. In order to placate them, we present them with something resembling warfare and thereby curb their appetite for full-scale conflict. But enough idle musing, let's speak to a more pressing matter, the Ivy. Since we spoke at the observatory, Captain Ilbert has further shortened his list of suspects, and by happy coincidence, the one he deems the most likely candidate is lately come to Gridania. The hunt nears its end, milady. All that remains is to corner a quarry. Seek out Ilbert near Ed's Nest, he will give you the particulars. Should there be any developments in Corvus, you may be sure that I will send word without delay. In the meantime, I wish you success in apprehending the Ivy. My thanks for coming, Scion. Doubtless the commander has informed you, but we have amassed the Ivy. From this point on, we must proceed with extreme caution. Listen well. The spy we have been seeking all this time is none other than Flame Marshal Eileen Rowley, Roban's second in command. Prior to joining the Immortal Flame, she was a mercenary of no small renown. They say her skill with polearm is yet seen, had to be seen to be believed. Of Ishgardian birth, she's the highest ranked foreigner in the Immortal Flames, ranked Flame General himself, of course. When he formed the Grand Company, Rowan chose people based on their worth, whence the hilt was of no interest. Well, Ishgardians with polearm expertise. Yeah, that can only be right because they have the dragoons. The monetarists saw things differently, however, having funded the enterprise, they reserved the right to reject candidates nominated for high-ranked positions. It was no secret that they did not favor foreigners, Ishgardians especially after the way the Holy See forsook the Alliance. Yet the monitors did not raise so much as a murmur of protest when Royally was appointed to her post. Passing strange, is it not? Could it be that the Ive has some hold of the monitors? But these revelations are secondary to our current mission. Of foremost interest is Royalty's presence here now. As you may be aware, it is the duties of Flame Marshal to command the Immortal Flames in the absence of Flame General. When Raban attended the Council of the Alliance leaders, she should have remained in the Hall of Flames. The woman has no business being in Gordania, and yet here she is nonetheless, on some pretense. She is up to something, mark my words. Even as we speak, I have half a dozen men trolling the Flames' records for evidence of Rowley's guilt. But if we can't catch her red-handed, we shall have all the proof we need. Which brings me to the plan. I have people watching the city gates, the airship landing in the docks, every point of egress. She cannot leave without our knowledge. All that remains is to shadow her until she betrays her true purpose. Can I rely upon your eyesight? You have my thanks. Let's go then and take care not to alert our quarry. Wally is headed in the direction of Blue Badger Gate. With me, son. So, Wally has entered the car line canopy. Meeting someone perchance? Or could it be she means aboard a ship? Try local for her within. If she's not on the upper floor, try the landing area below. One of my stationed there, and she may have seen something. Infamy is her name. I shall remain here in case Royally reappears. Not here, so probably down. They unexpected pleasure. What brings you here? A social visit, you say? How pleasant. No, she did not come this way. I've noted every passenger number or any resemblance. Well, don't let me keep you. Nowhere to be seen, you say? And you are sure she did not board an airship? She did not come back out either. Where in the seven hells could she have gone? The roost, how could I forget? Greetings, good sir. Might I interest you in some moon tonic? A cup a day imbues a man of great vigor if you take my meaning. Hehe. Perhaps another time, friend. Wait, that necklace. You are a shinobi of Doma. The woman you seek as Cordelia by the way of West Shore Pier. She was attired as a merchant, but these eyes are not so easily deceived. You may wish to take your search to the east route. Rest assured that we shall continue to support you from the shadows. Thank the 12 for the Domans. Were it not for their unique talents, Royally would have disappeared without a trace. In flagrante delicto. Our hunt leads to the east route sign. I suggest we follow Royally's example and take the ferry from West Shore Pier. You doubtless wish to make certain preparations. See to them while I'll go on ahead. I shall wait for you at Sweet Bloom Pier. Fine, we'll go to Sweet Bloom Pier. Oh, yeah. It's on the other side. This way, my friends. Your query makes for the Hawthorne Hut. If Rolly is truly the one we seek, we cannot expect that she means to make contact with her guardian masters there. An explanation is in order. You are no doubt aware that the Guardians have their own methods of communicating over great distances. Our ingenious friends at Garland Armorers have provided us with devices which disrupt these communications. We have installed them around the city-states. In doing so, we've made it difficult for Imperial agents to correspond with their masters. Rolly would just have no choice but to rendezvous with her Imperial contact directly. Yet, as a well-known face here in Immortal Flames, she cannot move about Fenland without being recognized. It will only be a matter of time before someone saw through her disguise. It is for this reason I believe she has chosen Black Shroud for her clandestine meeting. The others on our common sight here and our comings and goings are not likely to turn any heads. As my scouts doubt, the Guardians have sent agents with a mind to destroy the devices and render such direct contacts unnecessary. Fortunately, our shinobi have thus far been successful in rebuffing their efforts. This is it. We only need to make Hawthorne Hut and catch Rolly in the act. My people report that our quarry has departed for the bramble patch. The ivy returns to the gnarls when she came, but perhaps it's all for the better. To convict someone of her standing, we will require damning evidence against her. What could be better than to catch her in the act when she meets her guardian masters? My countrymen and I shall lie in wait in the shadows. Tread warily, my friends. Just beyond, Wally is in conversation with an individual clad in the manner of an adventurer. An Imperial intermediary, no doubt. This is it. With me. Plain Marshal only. Rolly, you're under arrest for treason and espionage. You were followed, you bloody fool. Damnation. Huh. You are unarmed, my lady, and scarcely guard for battle. But if you wish to fight, you are welcome to try. What is the meaning of this, Captain? Would you arrest me for strolling in the Twelvewood? When I last looked, it was no crime, and neither was conversing with passing strangers. You would feign ignorance, then. Very well. If you think of something to say, there will be plenty of time to say it later. Now do come quietly, or I shall make you wish you had. I will offer you no struggle. After all, I've not to hide. Even a warrior renowned could not have hoped to escape by force. Despite her claims to surrender and speak innocence, but that of full awareness that her position is untenable. With the ivy thus uprooted, it is to be hoped that the tendrils she entwined around the immortal flames will gradually wither and die. Mayhap then the beautiful Uda will have the great company they deserve. But let us speak of the present. If I may ask, what will we do now, Melody? So, the signs seek away into Iceheart's sanctum. And they say you are eager to return the Rolling Stones. Pray, do not let me keep you. Fear not, my countrymen, and I shall tend to the aftermath. You need not waste your talent here. And speaking of talent, you have been training in the art of shinobi, have you not? The change in your bearing is quite evident, to me at least. I look forward to seeing you in action. Till next time, my friend. I did not know that she had dialogue for that. Um... I did train in a lot of art, so. But yeah, I am a level 92 ninja at the moment, and that is more than sufficient to give me pretty much all alternate texts that I could ever wish for. So. No, I didn't want to go to Corvus. I want to go to Mordona. She cannot be seriously considering it. Life as a street performer should be one's last resort, not their first. I'm with you there, Papadimo. The tower has grown beyond child's fantasies of becoming a songstress, and becoming a songstress, and now she aspires to be a legendary street performer. Wait, when did she want to become a songstress? Steady, steady. Not bad, eh? With a little more practice, I could earn a fortune at the Ruby Road Exchange. My brain is going like, no. Arouse until becomes valor. Truly, we are fortunate to count Lady Yugiri a friend. Agreed. Frank tells Lady Yugiri almost beg believe. My heart is fair fit to burst from admiration. Never believe what Fankert says, even if it's true. Yes, but Higiri, you're missing the point. The individual does not matter. It was a team effort, and I was the one who... Alright, Higiri. I'm full glad that you're taking the stories the way you're doing. Oh, ha, I could do this all day. All day. But I cannot go on much longer. Strength, who are ye? On your honor as a sign, I forbid you to surrender. I must admit, this exercise of yours never fails to amuse me. While its movements appear comical, it does seem to be having the desired effect. It's a battle of wills, a struggle for supremacy. Our fighting styles may differ, but its unyielding spirit is the same warriors the world over. Well, I'm glad you're all having fun. Ah, it's great. It's great. Welcome back, Millie. I understand Elfino's had a task for you. May I ask what it was? Charges of treason and espionage against Eileen Royal? I can scarcely believe it. Could there not have been some manner of misunderstanding? No, the village is not dwell on it. Whatever the truth may be, we must trust to the authorities to uncover it. Let us speak of another matter. I am pleased to report that we have made progress in our efforts to find a way into Iceheart's sanctum. As you may recall, Iceheart used the Aetheryte in the depths of Snowcloak to teleport a short distance to the west, most likely to a sanctuary of some description. If there is, it is there we suspect she means to summon Shiva using the crystal she stole from House Fortob's caravan. The heretics believe that they are bringing about the second coming of their patron saint, but if, as we suspect, they mean to hold a summoning ritual of their kind employed by the beast tribes, it seems likely that the result will be something more akin to a primal. Suffice to say, they must be stopped, and stop them we shall. But first, we must surmount the obstacle that Iceheart has placed in our path. Ordinarily, it would be a simple matter to tap into the established net and follow a quarry. However, despite our best efforts, we have been unable to ascertain the position of the Aetheryte at which it teleported. Our prevailing theory says she destroyed the second Aetheryte upon arrival, a reckless, desperate measure, but also an effective one. After discussing the matter at length with Urianshe, we concluded that we lacked the expertise to develop a solution. Which is why I've called upon the aid of one who does possess such expertise, a colleague of ours who is currently en route to Ravenstall from Sharnian. She should be arriving within the hour, in fact. Since you're here, mayhap we could welcome her together. I'm certain she would appreciate the gesture. Let's make our way to the northern gates and await her coming. What manner of woman is she, I wonder? We have spoken before via Link Pearl, but of course it's not the same. No. Yes.
Minfilia, am I right?
None other. I bid you welcome to Revenant's Toll, and thank you for traveling so far on such short notice.
As if I could ever say no to Urianger.
Oh.
Moonbreeder is an accomplished Sharlayan scholar and an authority on aetherite technologies. She has played an invaluable role in our search for a means to capture Ascian souls.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Absolutely, and this is without joking. Mom Brida is one of my favorite characters. For an apples and either rich wasteland, this place is a good deal livelier than I expected. Just goes to show that you never know until you know. Let's return to the Rising Stars at once, then we have much to discuss. Is that Tipsy Matty on the wall back there? Amazing managed to find all the pieces after, oh, you know.
Moon! Gods, it's been ages!
Oh, longer, sister.
A joyous reunion indeed.
Well, of course it is. Moon and I are like twin sisters.
Save in appearance and aptitude.
Oh, Papa Emo. Oh, so sharp.
Everyone, if I could have your attention. We have with us an esteemed guest who has come from Sharlayan to assist us. I bid Moonbreeder join us here that she might share with us her extensive knowledge of aetherites. Also, as many of you are already aware, she has been overseeing our research into white auracite, a sample of which she has been good enough to bring with her.
Well, I had to come, didn't I? You'd have to be bloody daft to turn your nose up at a chance like this. Where better to conduct my final tests than a land so steeped in ether you can taste it?
'Tis plain the passage of the years hath done little to dampen thy youthful spirits. And nothing at all to reform thy youthful manner.
Just because you're an old man, Urianji.
Oriange, where in the hells have you been hiding?
Unhand me.
I come all this way, and that's what you have to say to me.
This is exactly why I love her. She is so much fun.
I much preferred when you were pleading with me to drop everything and hurry to your side. What was it you said? None save thee can satisfy this need.
Oh, Fancred will take that and run away with it.
Go on. Thine artless attempts to misrepresent mine all too innocent motives do thee little credit. Mine intent, as well thou knowest, was but to impress upon thee the gravity of the circumstance. Lest thou doubt, a deiform entity shall shortly be summoned, save if thou and no other grantest my compeers thine aid.
You still haven't found it, then, your missing aetherite?
We have not. No. We know that Iceheart teleported to an aetherite not far from the first. Yet even after careful analysis, we could not locate the second beacon. We now suspect that the Heretics destroyed the second aetherite to impede our pursuit. Our allies continue to scour Snowcloak for Iceheart's sanctuary, but we have no guarantee that they will find it. Yet it must be found, for even now Iceheart prepares to call upon Saint Shiva.
I'm sorry, but if the aetherite's been destroyed, then that's that. Although, you're absolutely sure she used the first aetherite, are you? She didn't just use teleportation magics?
One of our own bore witness to her escape. I can say with absolute certainty that Iceheart used the aetherite.
In that case, there might be a way, so long as the ethereal current is still flowing.
Truly? How?
We use the current to recreate the beacon. As you know, aetherites are a bit like lighthouses. We use them to reconstitute our physical forms when crossing the ethereal sea. Without them, we'd lose all sense of direction and our essence would dissipate.
This doesn't bode well for me.
However, we don't rely solely on these beacons. There are currents of ether which flow between them, currents which help guide us to our destination. Now, these currents will gradually dwindle away to nothing if an aetherite is destroyed. But if even a sluggish flow remains, we could theoretically use it to direct a surge of concentrated ether towards the void left by the beacon, and thereby fill it up again.
Like opening the floodgates to fill a dry riverbed. Though, correct me if I'm wrong, but would we not need a veritable reservoir of ether?
In concert, we might manage to channel a sufficient volume, yet that is not my chief concern. To direct the flow of so great a volume of ether with the requisite precision would be a nigh impossible task in itself.
I barely succeeded in facilitating travel to an unattuned beacon. That which you describe sounds considerably more difficult.
And dangerous. Every person who has attempted to teleport in this fashion has died in the process. They, however, did not have wide aura sight at their disposal.
Morita, why am I being tasked to put my life at risk once again.
I can use it to channel all the ether you can give me into the etherite. However, white aurosite cannot retain ether for an extended period of time, so we would need to infuse it immediately beforehand. Just so you know, I'd confidently give this plan better than even odds of success. And if the worst comes to worst, your people won't suffer.
Though it risked the lives of our best and brightest, we have not the time to seek other options.
So you're just gonna put my life on the line?
If the ethereal current still flows, we shall carry out Moonbreeder's plan.
That's the spirit. Let's roll the dice.
I've already informed Elvin of our plan to recreate the beacon in the manner Moonbreeder described. He agreed that despite the inherent danger, it represents our only hope of success. He also said he wished to meet with you at Snowcloak before proceeding. I expect you'll find him waiting for you there when you arrive. I want you to know that I appreciate everything you've done on our behalf, Melody, and that I have faith you'll return to us as you always have. Thanks, I guess? Well, in case we perish, I'll go and say goodbye to Harshfont. See what he has to say about all this. Heretics, Servanians, old familiar enemies. This is something beyond all imagination. Huh, he doesn't have much to say. Well, bye-bye. Funnily enough, this is actually the mount you get from the Shiva trial. From the extreme version. Well, get is a big word. This is one you can earn by either finding it 99 times or having it actually drop as a reward. Good to see you, Maddie. I was starting to wonder if you were having second thoughts. Yes, I have those. So many of them. Captain Ilbert sends his regards, by the way. He attends to the interrogation of Eileen Royally and Ilda even as we speak. But I shall not distract you from the matter at hand. We can discuss the IV upon your return. I trust that, by which I mean to say, the others are waiting for us at the Ether, right? After you sign. It is ready. Ha! It worked, I think. Try to into the ether right now. Feel for the current and try to locate the beacon. We've done all that we can, Melody. For now, let us withdraw. When your final preparations are complete, you must seek out the beacon we have created. If, by the grace of the 12, you arrive safely, you must stop Iceheart before she summons Shiva. We cannot ignore the possibility that her actions have alerted Iceheart to our plans. Should that be the case, she may attempt to hasten the completion of the summoning ritual, and if she succeeds, you will have little choice but to face Shiva in battle. Knowing little of this saint, I cannot say if your own strength will suffice, so I would encourage you to call upon your allies. Some may have some reservation about waging the right of the successful Moonbreeze experiment, but others will surely agree that desperate times call for desperate measures. But before you assemble your party, pray speak of the knight. I believe he has a message for you from Sir Emmerich. Why would Sir Emmerich have a message for me? Also, Monk, I love you, but this is fucking dangerous. I have a mind to join you, but Uriah and Jay made me promise I wouldn't. Apparently, the thought of me becoming Shiva's thrall was too much to bear. As if I ever give her the chance. I doubt you would ever give her the chance or become a thrall, because you're just that awesome. Madame Sir Emmerich regrets that he could not be here in person, as that I read to you this letter. Ishgard faced an unprecedented threat, yet in her hour of need is not her knights who sent poised to defend her. Hydaelyn, the warrior of light, savior of Eosia, your deeds this day shall not be forgotten. Where others would flee, you choose to remain. Where others would falter, you rise to the challenge. Where others would use their gift for selfish end, you wield yours in service to a greater cause. May Helen bless you with good fortune and see you home safely. Oh, that is actually very sweet. For him to think of us. That's more than most others would do, so... Huh. Let me check. It's this one. We're going in on our own because, well, it's a realm reborn and I'm not waiting 500 minutes for something we can do in 5 seconds.
You should never have come here, warrior of light. I labor only to forge a lasting peace. A peace you would deny us out of ignorance and blind faith. No matter. If it is our fate to be at odds, then it is mine to strike you down. We whom gods and men have forsaken shall be the instruments of our own deliverance. Partake of my flesh. Fill this vessel with your light. Walk amongst your brothers and sisters once more. Oh, Saint Shiva, still the hatred within our hearts and bless us with eternal grace.
I have to say, this is impressive. Shiva has an ad phase and she'll trigger when you do enough damage. Before we go into phase 2, which is heralded by her infamous kick. It seems it is not the end of her.
Fool. Blind, bloody fool. You, of all people, should understand the suffering war begets. That no sacrifice is too great if it brings an end to the violence. Mine is the righteous cause.
That's what they all say.
You fight in a war you do not understand. A pawn of liars and schemers.
Yeah, well, the only thing I have against you at the moment, Iceheart, is the fact that you try to summon a primal.
And they are no less ignorant than you, following the creed of their fathers without question, never thinking to ask why. Trapped in a delusion of their own creation, and blind to the truth. Warrior of light, redemption is not beyond us. We who walk before may lead those who walk after. Seek the keeper of the lake. See with eyes unclouded. Do not squander Mother's gift. Hear, feel, think.
And so the vessel withdraws, a predictable outcome. Nevertheless, La Habrea will be pleased. How unfortunate.
Where did Elfino go? By the 12, you're alive. I mean, of course you're alive. Why wouldn't you be? Iceheart did what? And you're certain about that, are you? Darvanians are skilled with glamours, after all. Look, if you say that's what you saw, I believe you. It's just I never heard of a primal being summoned like that before. Are you sure you're not injured? Head trauma has been known to cause hallucinations, you see. No? Fair enough, I was only asking. I get that you're like this because I'm still having trouble figuring out how. If you ask me, there's a lot to be gained from mulling over the implication of your story in the freezing cold. Let's save it for the Rising Stones, eh? I'll get everyone to meet us there. But before that, you best pay a visit to Vibrant Front and speak of Elfino. He's probably worried sick about you. That or he's busy playing politics with his guardians. Either way, I'm sure he'll be delighted to see you, healed and healthy. Speaking of which, you don't have a headache or anything, do you? No blurred vision? Oh, no reason. See you again soon. Oh, I appreciate you checking in on me. Success made to report to one's commanding officer after completing a mission. Oh, Miss Uptight is here. Like you send here now, proof of your mission success. Praise be to alone. There she is, and none the worse for wear. Was there ever a doubt that the war flight would succeed? I think I speak for us all when I say there should like nothing more than here staring tell of your victory, if you would be so kind. Then we were too late to prevent the summoning. But not too late to prevent further loss of life, an outcome worthy of celebration. And one for which we have Melody to thank. Yes, you're right, of course, Sarah. We should be content with what we have accomplished. I, for one, could not have wished for a better outcome. She was no longer a threat, and the heretics have been routed. Aye, there's the amount of Iceheart's escape, but she cannot run forever. Whether it takes days, weeks, months, or even years, my knights will find her. In the meantime, Lord Drummond, is the caravan ready? The supplies your men recovered have been prepared for transport in accordance with your wishes. Rest assured that my knights will see them safely to Revenant Soul. That I have no doubt. I take these are the self-same supplies the Heretics stole from the house for Tom Garvin? That's the crystals which comprise the bulk of the shipment, yes. Scarcely a fraction of that which was promised, but a meaningful contribution to your cause all the same. Oh, on an unrelated note, Maddie, might I trouble you to accompany me to Camp Dragon at your earliest convenience? It is not for my benefit. A certain lord was most distressed when he learned of your intent to risk life and limb to stop Iceheart. It took half a dozen nights to restrain him, I'm told. Oh, Archibald! Men give in to their anxieties in married ways. Pray do not think less of him. Oh no, I don't think less of Archibald. Ah. But first, we are back to the ads. Oh, I'll make my way to Camp Dragonhead. During the ads, I'll go and take a quick break, and then I'll see you again soon. Alright, we'll wait inside where it's warm. And I'll see you after the breaks. And we are back at Camp Dragonhead. If our business is concluded, we should attend to Sir American intercessory. Well, first, here's harsh fun. What were you thinking, lady? Waging your very being on a dubious fear which might allow you to enter Isis' lair, knowing full well she could have fished for a warning to complete her rituals, some Shiva anyway. And then, engaging an abomination in mortal combat. By the fury, Melody, 'tis the stuff of ballads. A battle for the ages. Would that I had been there to fight by your side. Well, I was expecting a scolding, but I think he's just jealous. And yet here I was, forced to wait, condemned to wonder at the fate of a dear friend for a veritable eternity. I would not wish such torture on my most hated enemy. But you're here now, and that's what truly matters. Let's move on. Sir, may we shall have words with you and Mr. Alvin in private. He awaits us in the intercessory. Greetings, madam. I shall show you in at once.
On behalf of the Holy See of Ishgard, allow me to express my deepest thanks. Never before have we been required to contend with a primal. Indeed, there were fears in some quarters that our knights might not be equal to the task.
They won't be.
From what we have now learned of these beings, I can say with certainty that we would have lost a great many men had the Scions not intervened.
Yep, so what are you gonna give us for it?
Then the argument for preemptive action should be self-evident. Perchance now you will reconsider my proposal that Ishgard move against Natalan.
Ere we first met, a similar proposal was tabled, but the Holy See decreed that we were to observe, and that military action should be taken only in self-defense. All things considered, it was not an unreasonable decision. Since the calamity, 2 vigils have fallen to the Horde, while Garuda has never shown any inclination to storm the gates of judgment. Which is why this unprecedented crisis and its resolution may prompt a change in policy. You who have faced these primals know well the threat they pose. Ishgard did not. Not until now. And there is naught like a brush with death to change a man's outlook.
True.
At the very least, this should silence any lingering objections to our arrangement with Revenant's Toll. The Holy See may even feel moved to grant us its formal endorsement.
So far as it is possible, the Scions shall be compensated for their service.
We should be grateful for any aid you can provide.
As a gesture of good faith, I shall withdraw my previous request. Your people are doubtless needed elsewhere.
That will not be necessary.
Alfino.
We too have a vested interest in watching Dravania's movements.
Yeah, that's true.
I see. Once more, I must thank you.
Sir Emmerich, if I may, do you truly believe that Midgard-Zoma could return?
The heavens are a window unto truth, but those who interpret their movements are not infallible. I requested your involvement as a precautionary measure.
But of course, you sought an excuse to compensate us from the first, mindful of what would happen if Revenant's Toll were taken by your enemies.
Ooh, he's cunning.
Ishgard is not wont to aid its neighbors, but that does not preclude it from manipulating them to serve its own interests.
Choose your next words carefully.
Do you know what sort of man becomes Lord Commander of the Temple Knights?
No.
One who comes from good stock. I did not. Yet here I am. Now, why do you suppose that is? Because I swiftly learned to tell the difference between words, deeds, and beliefs. You are correct, Master Leveilleur. Ishgard desires to see Revenant's toll flourish, as it would present a troublesome obstacle to our enemies from the south.
We are so glad to be of use to you.
Like you aren't manipulating people and doing your bidding, Mr. Alvin Olivier.
As we are to you. Ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement, lest we forget, one born of necessity. The dragons grow more restless by the day, and the heretics harry us nigh without cease. We have contended with such troubles for centuries, but there are limits to even our endurance. Yet as a pauper is loath to part with his meager possessions, the leaders of Ishgard are not wont to render up their trust to outsiders. But with perseverance on our part, they may yet be made to see the light. Nevertheless, one must take care when walking the road less traveled.
Wise words, Sir Emmerich. I shall make a point to remember them.
A little bit less sarcastic would be great, Alvino.
I must apologize for my earlier outburst. I hope it will not sour our good relations.
Not at all. You but spoke from the heart. I trust you understand that at times my duties may prevent me from meeting with you. On such occasions, my second-in-command will speak for me.
Lucia, at your service. Pray excuse our reticence. We are but wary of speaking too freely, lest our sentiments be made known to our enemies. Know that the Lord Commander and I are of one mind. For the sake of Ishgard, and of Eorzea at large, I pray our peoples can put aside their differences. Those who dwell in the past risk losing sight of their future.
Should aught befall one of our shipments, pray inform Lucia immediately. You may also relay to her any words you might have for me alone. Not being of Ishgardian birth, she owes no allegiance to any noble house, making her as near to incorruptible as one can find in my homeland. Suffice it to say, I trust her completely, and so may you. Which reminds me, Lord Orchefort, if you would be so kind?
Certainly.
In times such as these, trust is ever in short supply. Mayhap this will go some way to rectify the problem. The results of our investigation into the Heretics' recent attacks, as well as our interrogation of the merchant you detained.
Sir Emmerich, I cannot thank you enough.
Think nothing of it. Ishgard may be many things, but it is no friend to Garlemald.
Did I not tell you to have faith, my friend?
I should trust you more. It would seem we have much to discuss with our friends at the Rising Stones. If what you say is true, I heard method of summoning Shiva defies all precedent. It necessitates a complete reprisal of the primal threat and of our approach to combating it. Moreover, there are grave ramifications if word of this incident reaches Imperial ears. The Guardian Empire believes that primals are an insufferable menace, that their mere existence is a threat to its very star. As such, they deem any action taken against the beastars to be justified by default. Imagine that if it came to be known not only beastars of Eosia got some primals, but their civilized peoples as well. Any lingering objections to the Eorzean campaign would vanish overnight. Where before we had to contend with a single Imperial Legion, we could well find ourselves facing the combined might of all Gormald. But I speak unadvisedly. Committee, it's better that we continue this conversation in Mordona. Yep. Yep, let's do that. I do not falter on Mike for being less than forthcoming with his beliefs. Not even the Highborn are beyond the reach of the Inquisition. Ugh, the Inquisition still. Ugh, that. True, young leaders can be more amenable to new ideas. Then again, their lack of experience and influence can hinder their ability to enact reforms. There's little fortune and far less fame in being a receptionist, but one must be realistic. Also, it seems that I was grossly misinformed regarding the average earnings of a street performer. Oh, Tataru. Ah, forgive me, Maddie. I thought I had prepared enough meals for everyone, but the others were most hungry. They all ate my food? My stocks of wine have nearly run dry. That shining scholar is drinking us out of house and home. Moan, come on. Calm yourself, Coltonet. This is just a little ship after practice. Scares out the cobwebs and no end. A sip before practice, a sip after practice. All too often a sip during practice. I do believe Maria is having quite a bad influence on you. Trying to tumble the table now, are we? Do not give up yet, boy. Eat out and line them up. What you two do is your own business. Don't say I didn't warn you. Hey, I just gotta say you're pretty. You're alright. Just make sure it doesn't get alcohol poisoning.
Words cannot well express how glad I am to see you return to us hale and whole. Needless to say, I am most eager to hear your account of that which occurred in Kurthis, assuming you're ready to speak of it.
Yeah, not much happened, so.
Excellent. I shall summon the others at once. Iceheart used her own body as a vessel for a primal soul?
Master Louisoir's writings make no mention of such a possibility. Can we be certain this entity was a primal?
As certain as we can be that good King
Hey,
Voldemort
Darksayer,
was a
welcome
primal,
in.
I should think. Both were ostensibly summoned.
Let's not quibble over definitions. Of more concern is the implication that Iceheart retained her will, even after she was possessed. We are talking about a mortal, wielding the power of a primal.
I'm doing pretty good. It was a good idea to take a little break this week, because I actually, got a cold and I am feeling it right now, so that's absolutely amazing, but, The rest did me well, yeah. And how are you? Do you still have more exams coming in?
It can't possibly be that easy, can it? There must be some sort of sacrifice required. Or maybe she's just special?
What qualities this woman possesseth, I know not, but full sure am I that she was groomed for this role.
Oh, in March, it means that you have some weeks to calmly study and prepare. That's good. Yeah, I have another exam coming in, and that's gonna be on the 27th. So I also have about a week and a half to study. So, and I already know 1/3 of the contents because they were also on the exam that I did on Monday. So that's really nice.
Few are privy to the secrets of summoning, and but a single party standeth to profit from their dissemination.
Well, I wouldn't presume to comment on how the lass came to know about summoning, but I will say that what she summoned was a primal. The readings were the same, or near as damn it. Strange as it all sounds, it's really no different from what you've faced before.
Then mayhap it is time that we re-examined our previous encounters.
Pack your things, Ida. We're going back to Gridania.
Yes, sir.
About Iceheart's final words to you. Hear, feel, think.
Oh, thank you. It's just a qualification exam, and if I don't get it on the 27th, I still have a month left to actually pass the exam, so it will be alright. It's gonna be alright.
Hydaelyn speaks to her as well. If Iceheart is blessed with the power of the Echo, she will doubtless have used it to further her goals. Or could it be that it was a revelation granted her by the Echo which first set her on this path? She did say that the Ishgardians were blind to the truth. Do you think she has knowledge of the origins of the Ishgardian-Dravanian War? It would do much to explain her unwavering conviction.
Yep, I'll take a drink.
Did not the Lady Iceheart implore thee to seek the Keeper of the Lake? And did she not imply that in so doing thou wouldst come to see with eyes unclouded?
Midgard Zoma was a king amongst kings who reigned for centuries on end. But he is dead and his wisdom lost to the ages. Unless the Ishgardians' fears are well-founded. It would seem we have yet another reason to stand watch over the Keeper of the Lake. For a mercy, we are well positioned to do so. Iceheart, Shiva, Ascians, and Midgard Zoma. I shudder to think how they're all connected.
Yes, go and get some breakfast. I mean, scour the annals for knowledge of Midgard Summer. Given his great age, I dare say he appears in more than a few. Do you hear that? The commotion outside. Would you see if there's aught amiss? Mates, well, you're on hand. We have a problem. Rory has escaped. It happened shortly after the Immortal Flames took her into custody. She had been placed in a dungeon cell ahead of her coming trial, but apparently the accommodation was not to her liking. The turnkey was found slain along with 2 guards. This plain she received inside help. Since this report, seeing Rory quitting sitting via the gate of Nald with a bloody spear in her hand. She makes her custom Meridianum, I'm certain of it. With her faith in Eorzea as good as sealed, what records has she but the fleet to her Imperial masters? Even as we speak, Captain Ilward and the First are hot on her heels, praying make haste to camp Blue Fog and join the hunt. I thought that whole thing was over. Thanks for coming, Scion. I spoke with the soldiers here. They say Rolly walked through the camp not a bell ago. She walked right through. You did not miss here. We have Robon's decision to keep the man secret to thank for that. Bad for morale, he said. As a result, not a single flame the garrison made any attempt to detain her, and so here we are. Rolly must not be allowed to reach Castrum Meridianum. Not a bell ago, so that's less than an hour. This wretched Rolly. He threw himself at us that his mistress might escape. She didn't blink when we cut him down, not even when he started screaming. No loyalty even to her own, that goddamn harpy. With me, son, we almost have her. Ilbert of the Dull Blade. Why a Dull Blade? Yukiri! What circle? Where are you, Yukiri? bind her and do it tight. Good work, man. She and her Imperial cronies pushed us close, but we were better. Behold, a respected officer of the Immortal Flames. People looked up to you as one of the Order's founding members, one of its pillars. It saddened me to see you have fallen so. Huh, what do you know, Lo? You, a spoiled little lordling who has never known any want. People such as you take wealth and birth for granted. You think your God's given right You think it's your God's given right to rule over others. You know not of our plight, the injustice of we low-born Ishgardians must endure. To the noble lords and ladies, we are not people, but resources to be consumed. I did what I had to survive, stealing, killing, even whoring myself. It is no fault of mine if fools imagine me to be a paragon when I joined the flames. To hear you tell it, one would think you the only person ever to have suffered. In case you have forgotten, Robin himself was born into poverty, as was I. We lived hand to mouth, with little more than the shirt on our backs. Hunger was our constant companion. Yet, never did we bemoan our lot in life, nor did we begrudge others their fortunes. We accepted the hand that we had been dealt with and played it to the best of our ability. Life was a battle, aye, but no matter what fate threw at us, we took it on the chin and came back for more. Everything we have, we fought for. How are we any different then? Tis true we were both mercenaries of lowly birth, and tis true we both had our fair share of struggles. But whereas I sold my sword, you, Marshal, you sold your comrades. If life has taught me one thing, it is that you never betray your own. I would sooner cut off my own arm than raise a hand against a friend. But enough talk. You will return to Uldar to face justice and the people whose trust you have dragged through the gutter. Not so much as a hint of remorse. Well, tis well that this sort of business is finally at an end. A friend's betrayal cuts deeper than steel. We must hope that we have chosen our allies more wisely than Rowan chose his.
I have heard. Truly bothersome business. No, I do not foresee a problem on that front. The main concern is Roban. There is no telling what the brute might do. Have the Blades watch him in the flames day and night. You may leave the Sultana to me. I shall personally attend her grace. Sever one of the East Aldenard trade routes. That ought to keep Lolorito occupied for a while. Nanamo Ulnamo. For my sake, pray be a good little Sultana to the last.
Ooh, asshole. Gatsnil and I have a few questions for the Flame Marshal regarding the circumstances of her murderous escape. When we have completed our interrogation, we shall take our findings directly to General Alban, and that shall be the end of it. Your work is done, my friend. My thanks. But I have one last task for you. Return to the Rising Stones and apprise Minthia of all that has happened. I am aware that the incident held royally in high regard. For the better of worse, she will want to know how the tale ends. Painful revelations.
Welcome back, my friend. I have already received word from Alfino. To think that Flame Marshal Huayu was the Garlean agent. I know not what to say. Together with Robon, Aline lent us much-needed aid at the time of our Order's founding. She was particularly passionate about the need to tackle the primal threat.
Which, in hindsight, makes sense now, since we know that she's a Guardian agent.
When we discussed the subject, her eyes fairly shone with determination. Whatever else she may have been, I choose to believe that it was her true self with whom I spoke then. But now is not the time to dwell on such matters. I have an important announcement to make regarding our effort to defeat the Ascians. We shall begin as soon as everyone is assembled. My thanks for coming, friends. Moonbreeder, the floor is yours.
By now, I'm sure you're all familiar with white auracite, the miraculous material that'll allow us to capture Ascian souls. Back at Snowcloak, we verified its ability to absorb vast amounts of ether. Alas, it leaves something to be desired in the area of stability. The stone can only store ether for a short while before expelling its contents.
In addition to auracite's inherent limitations, we must needs be wary of our enemy's strength. Our foe draweth upon an infinite wellspring of power. Even should we succeed in entrapping him, the stone will not long contain his wrath.
Meaning that, if we want to kill the swine, we'll have to be quick about it.
'Tis our belief that an Ascian soul may be permanently undone, if smitten by a sufficiently concentrated burst of pure ether.
The only trouble is, we can't say for sure how concentrated the burst needs to be. Without knowing how much ether an Ascian soul is composed of, we're basically guessing.
Our sole clue lieth in thy struggle with La Habrea.
During that encounter, Hydaelyn bid you forge what she called a Blade of Light, a weapon which took the form of a luminous stream of energy. Based on your description, we believe the blade with which you vanquished your foe was composed of ether.
Makes sense, makes sense.
Admittedly, your victory proved ephemeral, as La Habrea was able to use a crystal of darkness to flee into the space that lies between our world and the void. The fact remains, however, that Hydaelyn placed the means to destroy the Ascians in your hands. Be that as it may, it would be unwise to assume that she will do the same when we next encounter such a foe.
Quite so, my lady. We must needs find the means to forge our own blade of ether, one to equal that which Hydaelyn did benevolently bestow upon her champion.
That is all well and good, but it seems to me that producing such a blade will require a prodigious quantity of ether. Whence will it come, pray tell?
Oh, what if we had two pieces of white auracite? One to trap the Ascian, and the other to store the ether for the blade.
Oh, nice try. But it's as I said, the stone won't hold ether for any length of time. We'd still need to collect the stuff there and then, sorry to say.
I think she had an idea.
Finding a...
Twould seem more research is in order.
I'm going to linger a while, perform a few more tests on the auracite. And I could do with some help. Urianger, why don't you lend me a hand?
Mine apologies, but I am required at the Waking Sands.
You're not.
Lady Minfilia hath given me sole charge of the premises. 'Twould be unseemly to leave them unattended.
Uh-huh.
Sole charge,
Excuses.
you say? So you're basically alone there, then? Well, that settles it. I'll just have to come to you.
Yeah, that backfired in his face.
While you were afield, word arrived from the Sharlayan motherland. You will recall that a survey party was dispatched to investigate the incident of the Isle of Val. What they discovered was troubling, to say the least. According to the report, the isle has been erased from existence. 'Twas as if a hole had been torn in the very fabric of reality.
Aye, yet the mystery endeth not with the isle's disappearance. It hath come to light that a number of scholars in various other locales were reported missing at a similar juncture.
What's more, they all had something in common with the head of the students of Baldessian. Every last one of them was researching a phenomenon called dimensional compression, or the rejoining as the ancient texts call it. I'll be damned if that's a coincidence.
The rejoining, huh?
All indications suggest Asian involvement. But I sense that a force greater still is at work. The entity the dark beings call the one true God. We must pray that my dear friend Kryl regains consciousness soon. If she bore witness to the Isle of Val's final moments, she may be able to shed some light on this mystery.
Following the calamity, the forces of the 14th Imperial Legion entrenched themselves in strategic locations across Eorzea. So swiftly did they accomplish this, it was suspected that they had received help. To think that it came from Huayu, my right hand.
There is more. We have reason to believe that Huayu didn't deal exclusively with the 14th. She also answered to a higher authority in Garlemald. But this higher authority could not have been the Emperor. By consenting to the Media Project, Solus Zos Galvus showed himself to be more concerned about preventing the spread of primal influence than claiming Eorzea for the Empire. He would happily have seen the lot reduced to ash. We believe a number of high-ranking figures within the royal household were against the decision, but that they knew better than to oppose the Emperor openly. Of course, this didn't prevent them from making clandestine provisions, in which Huayu played a part.
Alas, these provisions did not prevent Dalamud from falling, and the ensuing chaos changed the face of the realm forever. Yet Eorzea survived. To all intents and purposes, the Meteor Project had failed, and the Empire was left to rue its lack of a decisive means to eliminate the primals. Until, that is, it stumbled upon the Ultima weapon.
Even before the accursed thing was dug up, it seemed to me the 14th had the might to overwhelm our weakened armies. Yet they chose to hide behind their walls. Why?
The Black Wolf was wary of making the denizens of Eorzea desperate, lest more primals emerge to bleed the land. The discovery of the Ultima weapon, however, emboldened him to resume his war of conquest in earnest.
But there was one in Garlemald who believed that Van Belsar's actions were premature. One who stood higher in the Imperial Army's chain of command. He ordered the Legatus to halt his advance, only to find that the Black Wolf had slipped its leash, and that the 14th now acted alone. In a bid to bring Van Belsar to heel, he used the agent he had planted in Ul'dah prior to the calamity to undermine the Legion's efforts.
A man who outranks Van Belsar, It opposed the late Emperor's decision to annihilate Eorzea. This could only be the former High Legatus of the Garlean army, now known as Emperor Varus Zos Galvus. So he was Huayu's true master.
But one of several in actual fact. We've learned that even as Huayu served the Empire's interests, she sold Imperial secrets to a certain faction in Eorzea.
Zoals we dat in het Nederlands noemen, het eten van meerdere walletjes.
In so doing, she helped to maintain the status quo, thus prolonging the conflict. Considering who stands to profit from war, it isn't hard to imagine who her other masters were.
Seven hells! You mean to say that she was a double agent?
Probably even a triple agent.
Triple, if you consider her services to Van Belsar and the new Emperor as separate.
As neatly as these pieces seem to fit, one aspect of the puzzle remains unclear to me. By whose will was the Marshal feeding intelligence to the Heretics? And try as I might, I fail to see how aiding their cause would profit either her Imperial or Monetarist masters. Could it be that another hand is at work here? If so, Huayu must be made to reveal whose it is.
Not only have I lost a trusted friend, now I must interrogate her as a stranger.
Not a pleasant task, I grant you, but a necessary one. Unless we weed out the ivy, root, stalk, and stem, it will simply grow back.
I know that full well. Those closest to Huayu have already been detained, and I will question them alongside her.
General, pray keep in mind that there may be unwitting abettors among them.
All will be treated fairly. On that you have my word. Those who are innocent have no cause to fear.
You have ever been a friend of truth, General. I hope the unpleasant task of weeding out falsehood will not detain you too long. Though it be for the sake of Eorzea, doubting one's comrades is poison to the soul. And with that, I take my leave.
All these years, I've been made to dance to their tune. How could you, Huayu? How could you side with them? Those cankers who take from this land and give naught in return, who use their power to disempower and grow fat while the people starve. I know you can hear me, monetarist scum! Your crimes will not go unpunished! Today I will purge this land of your sickness! Before the eyes of the 12, I swear it!
Yes, Robon is all fired up.
I shall have no further need of you this day. Your Grace. I fear that not even mine own chambers shall remain private for long.
Has the situation grown so grim?
Ever since he proposed the Cartiner Reclamation Bill, Teleji Adeleji has risen to greater prominence upon the backs of impoverished refugees. The monetarists were ever united in their pursuit of profit, but the man's actions have torn a rift in their ranks. They snap at each other as rabid dogs. Yet now is not the time to be bickering among ourselves.
If this bickering is a threat to law and order, might you not have grounds to dissolve the syndicate?
Would that the solution were so simple, Admiral. Alas, my moving to dissolve the Syndicate is certain to spark outrage among the influential merchant class, whom the Cabal represents. This would serve to exacerbate the current unrest, and peace would slip still further away. Be they rich or poor, natives or refugees, all who reside in Ul'dah have a right to pursue happiness. It is the duty of a ruler to protect this right. If I am to perform my duty, I must needs tread warily. It would not do to make enemies heedlessly. Were Lord Lolorito here, he would doubtless say that I have my head in the clouds.
A ruler is required to take a wide view. Try as we might to cater to all needs, some will inevitably be overlooked. As such, there shall ever be citizens who feel aggrieved. It cannot be helped. But as you have informed us, the monetarists take no view but their own. They hunger for power while the masses starve. In the absence of a common cause, it seems beyond any one individual to make Ul'dah whole.
And the presence of a Garlean agent within the Immortal Flames only makes matters worse. Even accounting for Uldah's historic reliance upon mercenaries, such a grievous breach of security is unprecedented. I fear this business will provide the monetarists with a rod to beat Rauban.
Eorzea can ill afford for the Immortal Flames to be dampened now. Ere long, the Garleans will turn their ravenous gaze toward our lands once more. If we are to resist their might, our nations must stand together. Yet for this to happen, our nations must be whole. Cannot be done to improve the situation in Ul'dah.
The true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her citizens. Alas, the citizens shall never know these things, so long as their lives are ruled by the ambitions of the few. The monetarists claim to represent the best interests of the people, but in sooth they desire only to manipulate them for their own selfish ends. For the government to serve the people, it must be formed of the people. For Ul'dah to move forward, it is not only the Syndicate that must be dissolved.
Oh, that's drastic.
My friends, it was for no other reason than to make known to you mine intent that I requested your presence here. When I make my declaration to the people, chaos shall inevitably ensue. As the last monarch in the line of Ul, I make unto you this request. Help Rauban to preserve order and protect the people. Forsake them, and you forsake yourselves. For a strong Eorzea will ever have need of a strong Ul'dah.
Your Grace, are you certain of this?
There is no other way. When the time is ripe, the nation shall become a true republic. Both royalists and monetarists shall cease to be. Ul'dah will no longer belong to kings or queens or merchant princes, but to her people.
Is it a very bad idea? It is so drastic a measure.
Rauban, forgive me for casting aside all that you have toiled for in my name. Beyond this gesture, I am powerless to help my subjects.
I am most eager to address the Asian threats, however we dare not neglect our other pressing concerns. We both know full well that Shiva will not be the last primal we'll face, and our relationship with Ishgard is still tenuous at best. To think that the resolution of the primal threat was once sole priority of the Silence of Seven Dawn. Sometimes I wonder if it was wise for us to take on so many other responsibilities. Lest you forget and the science need not shoulder the burden alone. Were not the crystal braves established for this very reason? True, we are presented with a multitude of problems, however we have all the resources we need to address them in turn. Melody in particular is an ever-steadying hand who I trust will continue to support the Braves. You just said that the Braves were established to help the Scions. I'm a Scion. Why am I now supporting the Braves? To what do we owe the pleasure? Have there been further developments regarding the situation, Nilda? Hope you had a good breakfast. As expected, the Immortal Flames have been struggling to cope with the revelation that one of their highest-ranking officers was a Guardian agent. Suffice to say, Hydaelyn and the Monstrous Ilk have wasted no time in attempting to turn the situation to their advantage. Coupled with ongoing unrest, the Flames are finding themselves hard-pressed. Plainly, General Alban needs our help, and I will direct the Crystal Braves to offer what support they can. If I am to stay abreast of the latest developments and issue effective orders, however, I cannot waste time traveling back and forth. And so, for the foreseeable future, I think it would be best if I were to remain Ulda. Unless you have an objection? None whatsoever. We have matters here well in hand. Marie's research is proceeding as planned? So she tells me. Though I'm not familiar with the details. Currently in FF14, we addressed the threat of the primal Shiva. We found the rebel leader Iceheart after we done the dungeon Snowcloak, and then met Moonbreda, who is one of my favorite characters actually, and fought Shiva. So she's no longer currently a threat to us. However, we also uncovered the traitor in the Immortal Flames, which is interesting. And we were told by Iceheart that we are blind to the truth and should seek out the Keeper of the Lake. We are also doing research in how to get rid of the Ascians once and for all, so that's what's basically been happening now. We also figured out that Sir Emmerich was attempting to manipulate us to make sure that we could grow in strength and help Ishgard with their troubles. Albeit he went about it in a... Well, he was just manipulating us, basically. Ryush is poring over his tombs the waking suns, and the others are contributing in their own ways. Last key probe, how to form an ethereal blade at will, remains unsolved. Nevertheless, it's only a matter of time. Melody will focus on that task. Maybe you could assist Elfino and his braves with theirs. It would do much to restore faith in you, Immortal Flames, as the Warrior of Light was seen working on their behalf. Never forget that your esteemed status allows you to act in ways that those more tightly bound organizations cannot. As ever, I implore you to do so. Not that your response is ever in doubt, but I humbly thank you once more for aiding our cause. Now then, there are preparations I must attend to before my departure, such as receiving real estate's report. He has proven to be quite skilled at gathering information, others wish to keep secret, hence why I placed him under my direct command and ordered him to investigate the old riots. When you're finished here, join me outside. Depending on what he has to say, I may soon have a favor to ask. If there are any developments on our front, I shall inform you at once in the usual fashion. Oh, and I did say that Emmerich was manipulating us, but he actually does want to work with us and help us and that kind of stuff. He's just really bound by the commandments of the Holy See, so he cannot openly help us. However, the whole Shiva thing actually works in our favor because he thinks it could lead to policy changes in Ishgard, so that they might actually resume their well resume their place in the Eorzean alliance. So that's really good. Um, Ads are going to come up really soon, so we'll continue after the ad break. But if you have any questions about what happened today, I'm happy to answer them in the ad break, just so we won't continue the main story in game right now. Oh, thank you. I worked really hard on it to do the redesign, so yeah, I'm very happy with it. For those who are wondering what the redesign of Izumi is the character that I use as my avatar on screen. We are gonna get a VTuber made starting March, and I made the design and actually published it this week in the Discord server. So if you're interested, go and head out to the Discord server and have a look. Yeah, I've been posting in Little Blue Sky doing questions of the day or Warrior of Light questions of the day because they're pretty fun. I've joined a server where that's really like lore based and we talk a lot and we answer questions and kind of stuff. So I'm also developing Molly more, which is nice. Pleasure's always Melody. You'll be escorting the commander all the tickets. Actually, I have another task in mind for her. If you would be so kind to repeat your report on her behalf. Alright then. Mia might have been making inquiries into the source of the weapons that would find their ways into refugees' hands a way back. It so happens we caught wind of something promising, a rather large purchase of sharp and pointy things by a black marketeer holed up near Highbridge. I doubt this man would have secured such a quantity of weapons if he did not already have clients waiting, clients that for whatever reason would prefer for this transaction to remain secret. Brings to mind the merchant with caught an arrow while talking melody, does it? Generous fellow he was, dealing out swords and spears to the downtrodden and disgruntled. Which isn't to say that these clients have the same mischief in mind, but if you want to be sure, might be prudent to intervene before they collect their goods, savvy? Seizing the weapons before they fall into wrong hands would be for the best. However, if you strike at the appointed hour, you might capture the black market as well as clients. What do you say, Melody? I say you're making me do all the dirty work again. Then settled. Rendezvous with Captain Ilbert at Highbridge and intervene when the exchange takes place. Now, if you would excuse me, I must leave for Oda. I expect good tidings. Ever since Murida arrived, Ryan's cells have been buzzing with excited energy. I must admit her enthusiasm is rather contagious. I'm unfamiliar with the dishes lands to the north. Perhaps once Mom Rada has concluded her current research, she might deign to share with me her culinary knowledge. When the city of learning was abandoned, a great many tombs were scattered and lost. As some of my research might proceed, were we able to pursue the archives of yesteryear. Maria charges with acquiring rather esoteric manuscripts, but I'm afraid the task is proving to be nigh impossible. We need a rare ore to modify the white ore site and then get solved the problem using only a zinc pearl. I mean, it's great and everything, but where's the fun in that? When one is these precious commodities, it helps have friends in the right places. Fortunately, I'm well acquainted with a charming daughter of a successful Olden import merchant. Of course you're acquainted with charming daughters of merchants. I would be surprised if you weren't. We were but stripling adventures in the night. We saw fire rain from the sky and a pit of light scorch the heavens. What a sight it was, eh, Courtney? Are you talking about the night or the day that I went and destroyed the Praetorium? Mara and I were in eastern Finland when the colossal shards of Dalamud pierced the ground. We stood witness to a subsequent explosion in Ever and watched them fountains swirling energy solidified into those twisted crystal structures that we now know so well. Oh, you were talking about the Calamity. I see, I see. You still haven't telling me stories about the crystal formation that appeared following the Calamity. I'll need more data before I can draw a conclusion, but I'm intrigued by the potential of their untapped energies. I know a scholar that knows about this. Actually, I'm going there right now. You want to join me? Please, please, Mon, please. No, okay. Don't keep Captain Ilbler waiting for you too long. Last, he might have to start without you. Good. Then they might solve their issues alone for once. Hello, Maddie. Are you sleeping well? You must be absolutely exhausted from saving the realm on a daily basis. Yes, Tataru, I am. Thank you for asking. And then we are going to Camp Dryboat. here you are. Ah, Melody. My scouts have been keeping a close eye on the Black Marketeer, and it would seem that his guests have arrived. It would also seem that he's hired more than a few men on guard, common folks, no consequence, but they nevertheless pose a threat. Even so, I feel compelled to apologize. This is beneath a woman of your standing, commending your needn't have dispatched you hither. But powerful men have need of loyal friends. Having found one in you, it's only natural you come to rely upon you without hesitation. Yeah, I'm not too happy about it. Now then, we should make for the burning wall without delay and secure those weapons. First thing will ensure that the clients do not escape. With me, Melody. I spy on one man, but there are sure to be others. I have a plan. While you approach the sentry and create distraction, my man and I will stop past and catch the black marketeer unawares. Alright. Once you have disposed of the fox, wait for us outside the tunnel entrance. Any questions? Then let's be off. Good luck, my friend. Who goes there? An adventure? Damned fool, you should never come here. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? I don't understand. Well, what is this about? Oh. You didn't kill him, did you? As you can see, this is a fine mess. When I tried to restrain him, he drew a hidden blade and lashed out. But before I could disarm him, one of my subordinates panicked, and this is the result. It forces me to underestimate the bastard and bring an inexperienced recruit. Come on, Olivia will be most disappointed. Damn it, a whole golden opportunity. Wasted. As for the clients, though we don't know how, they step past our perimeter. At present, the first is currently tracking apart described sellswords we suspect may be them. Whether we could have enlisted the aid of immortal flames or breastplates, alas, we're here to aid them, they're in no position to aid us. Well, at the very least, we've secured the weapons, yet even that accomplishment is lacking, for the information we received indicated a massive shipment, and this is anything but. I will join the first in the hunt for the destroyed sellswords. If the gods are good, we will catch them before they escape into the Black Shroud. In the meantime, I ask you to deliver these weapons to Ulda, my stead. Entrust them to the third Hasse, you will take care of the rest. I'm starting to distrust you, Ilbert. Oh, where do we need to go? Okay. The Weaver skill is probably the closest. I do actually not want to drop these weapons off of you, Hassa, but I guess I'll do it. No, that's Alien. Oh, I do trust you guys. Here, my friend, I've received my first official assignment as a full-fledged member of the Crystal Blades. Oh, I'm so happy for you. Hey, Melody, this is a surprise. Rash was for me to thank you for helping us rescue her from the custom sentry. How fortunate we can meet again so soon. That seems like a lifetime ago. The Warrior Flight, ever a reliable friend to the Crystal Braves. You have my deepest thanks for your assistance in Corvus. Now, what brings you to us this day? A gift of weapons from a certain Black Marketeer, courtesy of Captain Ilbert, you say? Understood. Once I've cataloged the contents, I'll have them delivered to the Hall of Flames. This cannot be everything, can it? Real state of confidence that there would be a far greater quantity of the weapons. Update and falsehood. Clearly Riol's unfamiliar with the ways of Ulda merchants who strive to present themselves as greater than they are. We should be thankful this information was not completely erroneous and that we managed to achieve anything worth it all. Do not disparage my boy Riol. No. Bet you, Yasasa. You're on my shit list now. Well, it's still something worth celebrating, isn't it, Lieutenant? Besides, we've got more important things to worry about, like finding those guardians up north. There'll be no fighting if I have anything to say about it. Our orders are to stand watch, not seek glory in battle. If you have no further need of us, then I shall take my unit to the cerulean processing plant. Time for the forts are in their keep, eh? Vital alien for the freedom of all. Excellent work as always, my friend. Rest assured that the Immortal Flames will hear of your contribution. Until we meet again. Melody, a word if it please you. Not here. Look for me at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. No need for wasting time, don't you worry. Something is up. Thanks for indulging me in request. Few places better than the market for privacy, I find. All the hustle and the bustle of commerce means the most conversations go unnoticed. I'll get to the point. At the burning wall, when you and the captain interrupted the exchange, what happened? Tell me everything, leave no detail out. That's not quite how the first told it. Those Dutch guys they were chasing, like it's worse than we lost the trail. But you never saw them yourself? Not before the fighting started and not after? Something ain't right. I don't know what it is, but I can feel it in my bones. I trust you, Uriel. If you say something's not right, something's not right. I'm not daft enough to be misled by some merchant's drunken boast. Information was reliable, goddammit. I know he purchased those weapons. As if I've never deciphered a moneylender's box or had to follow a transaction back to its source. Did plenty of that when the raids were getting started, believe me. The commander wanted assurances that we weren't taking Gil from the wrong sort of benefactors. Because these days the money flows like water and first and third get the shiniest new toys. Forgive me, friend. I have a lot on my mind these days and I appreciate you lending an ear. Right then, let's get back to it. Many can you hear me? This is Tataru. Your presence is urgently requested to the Rising Stones. Please come and see me as soon as you're able. Well, that has given us some food for thought. Tataru, tell me what's up. Thank you for coming so quickly, Melody. We have a guest from Ishgard who wishes to speak with you. A most determined lady by all indications. Lucia's here? Ah, I see. Our guest is with the incident and Solar present. Let's not keep them waiting any longer, shall we? At this point, it would be more unnerving if you spoke plainly. You're talking about the Orianche, right? Unexpected tidings from the north, borne by Lord Commander II. What winds of wind blow of this day? Well, good of you to join us. We have much to discuss.
We have a guest from Ishgard who wishes to speak with you.
Yeah, so I heard.
I believe the two of you have met.
Yep.
We have. I had hoped to speak with Commander Leveilleur as well, but I cannot afford to wait any longer. The Lord Commander sent me hither to request your aid in a matter of grave import.
You see now why I had Tataru summon you.
Now that we're all assembled, perhaps you would be good enough to elaborate on the nature of the matter which brought you to us.
The Observatorium's astrologians have sounded the alarm. Last night, the Dragonstar burned with an intensity not seen in 15 summers. Not since the Dravanians engaged the Empire in the Battle of Silvertear Skies.
The northern sky doth burn full bright upon the Wormlord's call. The red behemoth beckoneth, and flame consumeth all.
The old Curthan rhyme, aye. The brightening of the Dragonstar is said to accompany the roar of a great worm. The astrologians believe that it was Midgard Soma himself who cried out on this occasion.
After an absence of centuries, the King of Kings did return to lead his kind against the might of Garlemald. Only to fall in his duel with the Agrius, proud flagship of the Garlean fleet. Devoid of life, his corpse remaineth entwined about the Magitech monstrosity even unto this day.
Oriange has the right of it. Whatever this alteration in the Dragon Star portends, the Great Worm has shown no sign of life. Tataru, have the Domans reported aught out of the ordinary?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if Midgardsormr had roared, wouldn't we have heard it here in Revenant's Toll?
Roar is but a figure of speech. Dravanians can communicate in ways beyond our ken. It is for this very reason that we are forced to look for signs in the heavens. We cannot say with any confidence that a great worm roared at all, much less that it was Midgardsormr. Only by directly examining the Keeper of the Lake can we be certain. However, it will take too long to gain the Holy See's approval to dispatch the Temple Knights. Therefore, Sir Emric would entrust this task to you. Do you accept?
I guess I can go and check out the worm. At least now I won't have to hear anything about the Ishgardians being mad that I followed the advice of Iceheart.
We knew you would not disappoint us. Now, if you would excuse me, I must return and assist the Lord Commander. We have precious little time to prepare.
To prepare for what, pray tell?
When a great worm roars, his brethren cannot choose but answer. We prepare for battle.
Ooh. The battle against the Horde. Forgive me if I state all which you already know, but I would ensure that you understand the nature of your destination. As Iriantia stated, what we now call the Keeper of the Lake is the wreckage of the Agrias, former flagship of the Imperial fleet and the corpse of the worm responsible for its destruction. 15 years ago, as the next step in his campaign to subjugate Eorzea, Gaius Milzar attempted to seize control of Mordona. So massive was his force that all thought his victory was a foregone conclusion. But an unlikely ally came to Eorzea's aid that day. Midgardsormr, legendary guardian of Silver Tear Falls, burst forth from beneath the waters of the lake and led a host of dragons against the guardian airships overhead. In what would later become known as the Battle of Silver Tear Skies, the Great Worm felled countless airships before engaging the Agrias. In the ensuing struggle, the flagship's cerulean engines failed and tumbled into the lake below. Yet this victory came at a great cost, for the explosion that followed claimed the lives of Great Worm as well. That selfsame explosion transformed Silvertail Falls into the desolate wasteland it is today, draining the lake of its waters and crystallizing ether from miles around. Yet a remnant of the lake remains, and its center a constant reminder of that fateful day long ago. In accordance with Sir Emric's wishes, our Doman allies have been standing watch over the Keeper of the Lake. It would be wise to speak with them before investigating the wreckage yourself. Be careful, my friend. We do not know what dangers await you within. Now then, let's not neglect our own task. There's much to be done and precious little time to do it. Before I depart, I must needs speak of the incident in private, if you would be so kind. Yep, I'm moving. Your luck, miss. I was about to send word to Reverend Soul about the Guardians. Guardians? Of late, I've seen small airships, likely from Castle Sentry, come and go from the keeper of the lake. Though I cannot say for certain at this distance, I believe they may be salvaging something from within the wreckage. The customs supplies have been cut for some time and wager they desperately need spare parts and other equipment. So it's true then. Do you guards honestly fear that the war might rise again? Well, from here it seems rather unlikely, but if it is assurances they want, you've got no choice to inspect the corpse in its entirety. Easier said than done, given the creatures which inhabit the wreckage, and the aforementioned guardians who would take kindly to your presence. They'll be sure to fire upon airships, so I advise a more stealthy approach. Take this boat and a few of your comrades to the base of the egress, then climb to the top. That's the only viable approach, I'd say. Well, let's go and do the Keeper of the Lake. Well, that could have killed me. It is falling apart. That's something that might also be good to know. That it all still works after 15 years of decaying. I guess Magitech is built to last. something I need to do. This one, that one. Yep. That's just for convenience sake for something else.
Treadeth now upon my bones, and waketh me from slumber sweet.
I think the Ishgardians had a point. I think they had a very good point. That was actually a little bit scary. Yeah, that happens when you're like twice the level you should be. It's not really an interesting fight, to be honest. Not anymore. The story is much more interesting.
By her gifts hast thou earned a moment's reprieve. Speak, mortal, and I shall listen. Guided by a star. My people have heard the song. Ishgard shall burn.
What a great prospect, Midgard Summer.
Sons must answer for their father's misdeeds. We do not forget. We do not forgive. Seven children did I sire. One now singeth of retribution. I rise to join in the chorus. Thou art powerless to silence us, mortal. Yet thou shalt not live to labor in vain. Thy reprieve is at an end.
Time to leave.
Trickery is thy shield. This frail, ignoble creature is not gifted, but chosen. Hearken to me, Hydaelyn. I remember, and I consent.
To what?
Fear not.
That still leaves a lot of things you can do. Dude, what the fuck? He's cutting off the connection to my crystals of light. My neighbor started drilling, so that's great. That was my connection to Hydaelyn. But yeah, Midgard Stormer just cut off my connection to Hydaelyn and the crystals of light.
Thou art mistaken. If thou comest to harm, it shall be by another's hand, not mine.
Loopholes, don't we just love them?
I did but strip thee of thy mistress's feeble blessing. Thou didst profit much by her grace, but no more.
What an asshole. I made no covenant.
I shall watch, listen, and wait. Fight and struggle, if it be thy will. Man hath ever coveted that which lieth beyond his grasp. I drink of her body, and thence doth mine own find new life. When it hath grown whole, the loyal and penitent shall rejoice. The dragon song heraldeth a beginning and an end.
Well, that end is not gonna be what you think it is. Midgard Sommer is now one of our minions, so he can follow us around. And with that, we are gonna finish the quest and then move out. Oh, of course Elvinil wants us to return to the Rising Stones. Oh, frick off. And with that, I'm going to bid you all farewell for today. Next week we're back to our regular streaming schedule, meaning 3 days a week. We're gonna go and probably finish ERR next week. I'm excited for that because Heaven's Ward is just around the corner. Check on Blue Sky and Discord for the schedule. And with that, I'm gonna bid you all a very, very nice rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!